Okay, good evening. It's about evening time, or good whatever time you're watching this. So I've been a season ticket holder for the T20 at Durham this summer, and I've been enjoying it so much. It's really been great to go down there and watch the cricket that both the men and women's teams have put on. So I'm having my first go at vlogging today, just to see if I enjoy doing it and whether anyone actually likes hearing what I've got to say. So I'm about to head down there for the T20 Blast match, where the women's team will face the Hampshire Hawks. So the team will hopefully be on a bit of a high after getting their first home win last time round. They played very well last Friday. So looking forward to seeing what comes off the back of that. As for Hampshire, it's quite a big game for them. They still do have a chance of making it into the top three, and they're going to be looking to do that. And also maybe get a little bit of revenge on Durham for the match down in Hampshire, which Durham were able to win via the Duckworth-Lewis. So that was their first win of the season, and they managed it by 1 run, which was very nice for them, obviously. So we'll see what happens today, really. I see, looking at the Hampshire side, Bouchier isn't in it today, but they do have some very good players, including Elise Perry. As for Durham, Bess Heath does return today. It'll be interesting to see what role she plays, if any, especially given it looks like Mia Rogers will be staying behind the stumps today. Grace Thompson, I've noticed, is not in the squad, so it'll be interesting to see what side is put out and what sort of game we're going to get. Anyway, it's a lovely evening here in the northeast, and I'm looking forward to it, whatever happens. Hopefully we should get a really good game. So I'll check in with you all down in Chester Street. I'm here, well, almost. I'm on the way to the ground. It's not too difficult to walk, but it's much easier to park in the town centre, I find. Anyway, it was a remarkably smooth drive. I mean, going through Newcastle at 5 o'clock doesn't sound like the makings of a good journey, but it was a lot smoother than I expected. So I'm hoping to make the coin toss at this rate, which should be in about 10 minutes, and we'll see how that goes. It could be quite important tonight. I've never known Holly Armitage actually win, I don't think. She possibly did first home game of the season against the Thunder, but I swear she's certainly lost every coin toss since, so it would be nice if she wins tonight and then see what she decides to do, because I'm used to seeing Durham bat first at these games. I don't know if that's something that she would choose to do anyway, or whether we see something different. So we'll see what happens when the coin toss comes. A little bit more about the game that I'm expecting and the teams. I have looked a little bit more into the match that happened down in Hampshire. It was quite a low score that Durham had to defend. Actually, they didn't even make 120. I think what got them over the line on the Duckworth-Lewis was the taking of the 2 wickets that they got in the 6 overs that they actually did bowl. So that's how they managed to win that match. But I seriously doubt there'll be any need for a Duckworth-Lewis tonight. It's a gorgeous evening down here, so we should get a full game today. So we'll see what happens. So it looks like the coin toss is taking place now. So this is where I like to sit. Main reason being, it's pretty much on the bowler's arm. As you can see where the pitch is there, so I get a good view of the movement of the ball. Okay, and there are our teams for this evening. It's not that easy to see. So for Durham, it's Bates, Marlowe, Villiers, Armitage, Heath, Windsor, Rogers, Phoebe Turner, Fraser, Sophia Turner and Levick. For the Hawks, it is Southby, Perry, Kemp, Norgrove, Adams, Datani, MLL Taylor, Davis, Gibb, Lee and Tyson. So, what do the teams mean? It means for Durham, Heath is back in the side and Fraser has come in as well. Heath will not be behind the stumps today, but her batting expertise is still going to be called on, most likely, so she comes back into the side. As for the Hawks, it's quite a strong side and similar to the one they've kept with for most of the season, I believe, with the exception of Bouchier, who I mentioned earlier, with George Raddens as their captain. So I believe the only change for the Hawks is that Sturge is out of the side today and it's Lee who replaces. As for the coin toss, we've lost. As normal. So it was the Hawks' decision and they've decided to bat first today, so it'll be quite rare to see Durham bowl first. Haven't seen that since the opening home game of the season against the Thunder, and it will be very important. It's been shown that they can put a very good bowling performance together. I believe Levick has improved a lot this year after being quite expensive in some of the early games. You know, we've had a couple where she's really kept the run rate down and got some really important wickets, and as a Durham fan, I'm thrilled to see Phoebe Turner in the side again. I think she's been really dangerous, and still being young, I think she'll be a brilliant player as the years go on, so great to see her in the side, and obviously hoping she can do some damage to the Hawks attack when we begin. As for the fact that Emma Windsor stays in the side, I'm really pleased to see it. She was excited to make her debut in the last home game, and a little bit nervous, was nearly out first ball, but you know, managed to settle down a bit, and hopefully she's going to go from strength to strength, so excited to see how she does today, assuming that she's called on at some point. So now it's just wait until we get started. I won't be talking an awful lot during the game. You know, when the game starts, it's nice to stay relatively quiet while the balls are being bowled and you know, focus on the game and giving support, but I will drop in at a couple of occasions just for an update. But obviously, if you want to see exactly what's going on, you know, there was a live stream and there were highlights, so yeah, you can see everything that went on, and I'll be back to give some opinions. So Durham are actually playing in pink today, which is to support breast cancer, though it's quite handy that it's happening during the game against the Hawks, because they also wear yellow, which is Durham's normal colour. So this is going to be quite handy. So Durham in pink and the Hawks in yellow, so let's see what happens. So that's the halfway point in the Hawks innings. They are 58 for 3. Hard to say who will be the happier at the moment. It's 3 big wickets for Durham, but the Hawks are picking up runs. and you have to believe they'll start trying for the boundaries a bit more coming up. Some great bowling from Maddie Villiers, and Levick has taken a wicket as well, keeping the run rate down. So we'll see what happens the rest of the innings. Wow, that was not the sort of innings I expected. Hawks close on 103 for 7, and I expect they're very disappointed with that. They started well with some good scores from Southby and Elise Perry, but Maddie Villiers managed to get a couple of important wickets with the dismissal of Perry, and I think she got Kemp as well, so the top order was pretty much torn through. You only really had good scores from the two I just mentioned. Credit to Davis and Taylor, who did steady the ship when it was looking pretty bad. After a while, they managed to get some reasonable scores to get themselves up to the 100 mark. But you've got to give credit to Durham, really, and the bowling. Each bowler bowled 4 overs. Armitage has mixed them up well. The fielding has been excellent, really restricting the boundaries. Phoebe Turner with an excellent 3 for 11, I think it was, is the only run she gave away. Or I might be getting it mixed up with Levick, who gave away a very small amount of runs as well. Yeah, I think it was Levick who got, well, who only went for 11, and Phoebe Turner went for 17, 19, something like that. So some brilliant bowling all round from the girls. They've deserved to restrict the score in the way that they have. So let's see what happens in the batting innings. Looking at it from a Hampshire point of view, I think you really don't want to let Susie Bates get going. I think anywhere near a half century for her, Villiers or Armitage, and I expect Durham will win the game. So it's 104 Durham need to win, and we'll see if they manage it. The second innings is coming up relatively soon. In the meantime, keeping an eye on the men's score down in Nottingham. It's not looking great, but possibly winnable, and they could really do with that, so let's see how they get on as well. So at the halfway point of the Durham innings, 10 overs bowled, and it's 57 for 4. Good start by Susie Bates with 25, but a couple of silly wickets since then makes it look a little bit more difficult. However, Windsor has come in and she's looking rather confident, along with Armitage, so hopefully they'll be able to put a good score together and get this over the line. But there's been some good bowling from Hampshire, you know, with Georgia Adams causing quite a lot of problems, so, and I'm sure she'll be back to bowl more. Emily Windsor hits 3 fours in a row off Georgia Adams. She's like a different player today, literally. You know, last game she came in looking rather nervous. Today she's full of confidence, and you know, she's probably going to win the game for Durham, so good on you, Emily. And that's it. What a finish by Emily Windsor, 36 not out. And Durham win in just over 15 overs, so good performance by the girls. Just been on the pitch and had a chat with some of the players after that brilliant result. Really enjoyable, and it's just great to see how they're improving as a team. It really is, and what an innings from Windsor, as I said. So on to the next game, where they'll head to Old Trafford to take on the Thunder. Got close to beating them when they were here, so let's see if they can give them a better game this time round. And as for more thoughts on the game, I've covered most of it already really. It was a good bowling performance from Durham. I think you have to give them credit for that. Hampshire started relatively well with their big hitters, getting some boundaries, but after that they really struggled to come back by them, and the top order was pretty much dismantled by some great bowling from, all of them. I think they all played their part this evening, the bowlers, and that's why they all bowled the full 4 overs each. Armitage chose not to bring anyone else on, so they did their job. And then on the batting side of things, it did look a little shaky at times. A strong opening from Susie Bates, who says she's only got one more game with us this season before she heads back to New Zealand, so it's been great having her here and seeing some of the performances that she's been giving. As for the rest of them, a couple of wickets which I feel could have been avoided if they'd played a little bit more sensibly, but Windsor coming in and forming some good partnerships with Armitage and with Rogers to finish things off, was really important. So it's helped them get over the line, and back-to-back home wins, which they're thrilled with. It's really nice to see them put a run together of some sort, because in a lot of the games I've seen this season, I feel they've either batted very well or they've bowled very well, but it's not really come together, whereas the past couple of games, they've got it about right. So good on the team today, and it's been great to support them, and I will be watching them again on Tuesday, which I'm hoping they'll put a good performance in against Surrey and make a good game of it. At the very least, it'll be good to see Surrey play. They've obviously done this well this season for a reason, and the beauty of cricket is you can appreciate good cricket no matter who plays it. As for the men, obviously a disappointing evening. Real chance to sort of cement themselves in the playoffs, especially with a couple of other results. Well, it wouldn't have quite been a cementing, but it certainly would have gone a long way. But from what I've read, sounds like they were beaten by the better team tonight, and that's fair enough. We have had a win for the Bears, so that puts them level on points, but the run rate hasn't been affected badly enough to cause too much of an issue there. A win for the Steelbacks as well, so they're up there, they're all on the same points. So we'll see if Yorkshire can do us a favour. Last time I looked, it was 6 overs left and Lancashire needed 95, so not an easy feat, but not impossible. So if Lancashire lose there, that'll be back-to-back losses for them, and all to play for on Sunday. So thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to be heading home, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks.